Welcome back to my top 100 games of all time in my collection, that is. All right, let's get on to it. Number 60 is a game from Eagle Gryphon Games. It is called Francis Drake. It is a fantastic game, pirate game. I love this game as you're going around through the board. The first half, you're gathering resources, cannons, crew, trade tokens, whatever. And then you are then going out into the board, barrels too, because the barrels let you get more action or get some more range when you're going out pirating either cities, I think it's fortresses and galleon ships. The galleons being the biggest one, the fortress being the second biggest, and the cities being the least point-driven one. But if you can get all three, that combination will give you a bonus, which does make it worth it. So you want to diversify what you're going to be doing there. And that is a big key to victory. Everyone's trying to get that done. Now, of course, the order of where you do them is all face down. Then you flip over the order, and whoever has the lowest number gets priority. And so that's really fun, too. If it's a tie, then whoever went there first gets priority. The game's pretty straightforward, but it's so much fun, so strategic. And I used to win a lot of this game, and I haven't lately because there's a strategy that everyone overlooks. If you get a complete set of like all 4 trade tokens, it's worth big points. I can't remember how many off the top of my head, but you can almost move across the board in just one big turn. And so what I was doing was I was getting 2 sets of those, which is really hard to do in the game. But if no one, and that's the thing, everyone just kind of forgets about trade because you get a few points for trade, but not that much. Only if you kind of get all 4, which is really hard to do if everyone's going for it. But if no one was going for it, it's easy to get. And so I would always get 2 sets and then win at the last minute because they'd realize, oh, Matt got it again. Well, now my nephews, my game group, they are wising up to my gameplay. And now they started getting trade and taken away from me. So I can only get 1 set. There's no way you're getting 2 if other people are grabbing that trade. And I love it. I love it because then I had to follow with the rest of the gang and try to sack all 3 different places. The game is just so good. Oh, and then whoever sacks it first will also get some bonuses at the end because they get some gold, silver, and rubies, I think, which are worth victory points in the game. And all that's kept in treasure chests, too, so you don't even know who has the most unless you've been doing a count there. The game is just so much fun. And I know Eagle Gryphon Games puts their games on sale every, Christmas time and definitely around Black Friday. So maybe it's worth getting, or maybe it's worth getting secondhand. Either way, Francis Drake, wonderful game. Man, is this my favorite pirate game? I don't know. I'll call it right now. Favorite pirate game. I may be wrong later on, but it's one of the best games out there for pirates, that is. All right, number 59. Welcome back, Queen Games. Let's talk about Escape from Curse of the Temple or Zombie City. I have them both. I've actually played Zombie City this year several times, and not once I play Escape from Curse of the Temple. Now, why? Which one do I like better? I love Curse of the Temple better. Zombie City is actually pretty hard. The music you can download or it's playing on YouTube, and the music for Zombie City is really good, really scary and everything. And my gaming group, I don't know what, they're not into Curse of the Temple, even though it's got an Indiana Jones feel. I feel it's the better game. But, everyone loves zombies. So, yeah, let's go ahead and battle zombies. That's really fun. I get it. That's your jam. They're both typically the same type game, real-time rolling. But I do believe Zombie City's harder. I played everything that Curse of the Temple has. I have the big box edition. And that game, to me, does not get old. There's so many different traps you can play with, so many things you can abandon. My worst one is the one with the sand timer. Oh, my gosh, I hate that. I will not go in a room with a sand timer because they're so hard to do. But, again, I love the real-time dice rolling acts. And, in fact, there's another real-time dice rolling game that I have here on the list right now I'm going to talk about later. But Curse of the Temple, Zombie City, I would get Curse of the Temple, but Zombie City may be cheaper, I guess. Do you need everything involved in Curse of the Temple? I don't know. They sell it together, so you may as well. Zombie City, you can get with all of the promos except for the 4th one, I think, the 4th little queenie. But I'll be honest, I don't use many of the queenies in Zombie City. Maybe I do, because I think there's some special. Yeah, I put some of the special zombies in there and the special abilities you have to have because the game's so stinking hard at times. We rarely win Zombie City. Curse of the Temple, we rarely win too sometimes, depending on what expansion we put in. But either way, this game is so much fun. I love the real action dice rolling games. And this has always been, let me check and make sure, it's always been a top 100 game. Yeah. Oh, wow. I haven't had it in my collection that long, I guess. This is the 2nd year. It's really weird. I thought this has been in my collection a little bit longer. But because we played Curse of the Temple a whole lot more last year, and this year we're playing more Zombie City. That doesn't matter. Either way, both of them are great games. Number 58 is our Artipia Games here. And I don't know. No, it's not the best one in there. It may be the best one in my collection, I guess. But here we go. Archon, Glory, and Machination. The work looks terrible. Everyone looks like they're from a stained glass window, a weird stained glass window too at that. But the gameplay is there. It's a worker placement game. It's got to be right. But you can upgrade your workers. You're playing a card, and that's what symbolizes that worker. And there are 4 different upgrades you can have, and all of them are good. all of them are good. In fact, just recently, the Taxman, who no one got, the games we've been playing this year, everyone maxes out on Taxmen because they know how damaging they are. And that's why the game limits you to 2. But before that, I got a Taxman here and there. And I think that's what changed it this year. Because when I got one, kind of showed how powerful they were, everyone started getting them. Now everyone gets those at the beginning. So I need to show them how powerful the other ones are. But you want to balance with them all because if you got these regular white cards that are called courtiers, and my gaming group, we make a big joke. We go, courtier. We try to butcher the name as much as we can. On purpose, just to have fun. My sister-in-law, this is her favorite game in my collection. When she comes in, she wants to play Thrash and Roll and this game. This game is, but if we can't play both, she said, I want to play that game. She doesn't remember the name anymore. She went, I want to play our game. I said, okay, I'll get it out. So every time she's here, she'll be here on Christmas if she has time to stay. She didn't have time to stay last year. Oh, maybe she did. I can't remember. If she comes in, we're definitely going to play this game together because she absolutely loves it, and I do too. I think it is such a good game. Again, it's an ugly game that I've had in my collection for some time, and I think all but 1 year this has been a top 100 game for all. Because I remember that 1 year I was kind of shocked and kind of hurt my feelings a little bit, but I didn't play it that much that year. And now I do play this a lot. My game group loves this one too. Solid game. All right, let's get Cosmos in here. This is a popular game everyone loves, and I love it too, Imhotep. Cosmos gave me this game to review. They opened up their catalog for me, and this is really the only game I requested. And then once I kind of made fun of them after the review, they never talked to me again. I don't want to play any crap games. Just any game from them. Just because it's free doesn't mean I want to waste my time playing it. But I did enjoy Imhotep. I mean, I believe the hype. The game doesn't look like much, and it isn't. You're basically placing cubes on a ship, refilling your supply of cubes, which is stone, I guess, or moving one of those ships to one of the 4 available ports. And depending on how many expansions you have, the ports can be different. Every time this game can be different. And the way you score is so different. The different imaginative ways they have you of scoring this game is just incredible to me. And I love it. We don't play with every tile. I need to keep a track of which ones I love the most. But we put in the different ones each time we play. And it is so much fun, so simple to learn. And the scores can get crazy. You never know who's going to win because maybe you load up your boat and you're ready to go, but someone who doesn't even have a dog in the fight, they throw you to some place that you're already going to win. You're like, no, yeah, you had a chance to move that boat, but you didn't. So even moving a boat full of your cubes, you think, oh, no one's going to move that. No one wants me to score. Yeah, they do. They don't want you in a port that they want to have, or they don't want you scoring more points and catching up with them. A lot of player interaction with this one, and I understand why everyone loves this game. It is a great game. Imhotep, my number 57. Number 56 is a game that you're going to see a few of these games from Renegade Games in my collection. And the first one is Architects of the West Kingdom. It is so much fun. I have all the expansions for this. I just recently got a promo or the rest of their promo packs from them. It's so weird. It took months for it to get in because I ordered it back in August. It didn't come in till October. And that's because they wrote down my wrong address. I don't know why, but it got returned back from England or whatever. So it took me forever to get it, but I finally got it. It's not, nothing is a deal, but you don't need these promo cards or this extra. I can't remember the statue, what it was, but it's just nice to have extras because I love this game. Now, here's the test of time because my gaming group loves this game so much that one couple bought it just recently. And they are playing the dog out of that right now. So I don't know how often this will come out for future reference. I don't know how often it's going to come out. If one couple in my gaming group, the other couple doesn't have it yet, so I guess I can still play it. It's a great worker placement game. I think it's brilliant. It does something that a lot of worker placement games don't do, and that's what Renegade Games has done with these type of trilogy games they put together. They come up with just base mechanics, but different ways to deal with them. In this case, when you place a worker there, you can't gather them up. Gathering them up is this action on its own, but the more you place on there, the bigger your move is. And eventually, someone's going to go to a spot where they're going to arrest your people, and you've got to either rescue them or bust them out of jail or pay for them or whatnot from another player. And it's just a really smart game with simple mechanisms you can enjoy and a ton of strategy. Renegade Games thrives in this one. So we're not done yet. You're going to see a few more higher on my list. But let's go now to one of the most gorgeous looking games in my collection. Been in my collection for, let me see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years. Always a top 100 game. Expedition Northwest Passage. I swear that artwork could be hung on someone's wall over a fireplace and look beautiful. I love Expedition Northwest Passage. I think it's just such a lovely, lovely little game. The pieces have polished wood. The bag is really well done. The board is awesome. You're putting together these like little domino puzzle-shaped islands to go explore through. You're trying to power your way through the frozen tundra by either ship, or if the winds, the winds are frozen, and you get the seas are frozen, then you got to get out your sled, and maybe you're controlling your sled while controlling your ship there. And the round marker is the sun marker, kind of, and anything below the sun is frozen. So half the game you're spending in a frozen tundra trying to get to the Northwest Passage for big points. But a lot of times people don't even get to the Northwest Passage because there's so many points you can get by exploring those areas. And the further you go, the higher the victory points. And then there's a lot of in-game points you can get too. God bless America. This game is so good. I played it several times. I've not always won either. In fact, I think I've lost every time this year. And it's been by just a couple of points, but I don't care. It's just so much fun. There's a strategy that if someone gets to the Northwest Passage, whoever makes it back to port, regardless of if they've been to the Northwest Passage, they can also score victory points. So that person who's maybe struggling and can't get past the board's kind of in 3 sections, you can't get past that first section. You just got too bogged down with all the different ways to score points. Someone else gets the Northwest Passage, then you turn back around and try to make it to port to get those points. By the end of the game, you got to be quick, but it can happen. Don't know the value of this game or anything or how hard it is to get, but if you can find a copy for a decent price, get it, because it's incredible. All right, number 54. Everyone knows this game. It's a classic, classic worker placement game that's gotten several reprints. Stone Age. Still love Stone Age, man. Still play it. It's always been a top 100 game for me. True, this is probably not the lowest it's been, but it's dipped over the years. But I still love playing it. I play with the Herd little mini expansion. I think that's awesome. That basically gives you rewards for going to a certain area. And maybe you didn't want to go to that area, but you go anyway, because if you get the majority or even the minority, you'll get like even a small reward too. So I really like that, how that changes the game. Now the new version has the expansion included in it, but I will never play without the expansion to Stone Age 2, because I think it's just so awesome. Those cards, the bones you can get from there, and the extra things that they put in it, or the trading is what I'm saying. Trading post is just really good ideas. So this game, I'll always bring out. I have an old copy with a pure leather cup, and everyone smells the cup. The cup smells awful because it's pure leather. It's old, and it just smells funky. But no, I said, you can't resist, can you? Oh, it's just so bad. I'm like, yeah. And we all sniff it. We don't know why. We all say, you're going to sniff it. You're going to sniff the cup. But it's great. I know the new version isn't leather, but oh, man. Stone Age, fantastic game. All right. Talked about live action dice rolling. And this is probably the best you can get at it. It's Project Elite by CMON Games. Now, Artipia Games did this first. I kept both editions. I have not sold my old edition yet because I like the old edition. In fact, I have played with both editions this year. I played with the new and the old. Now, this is another game that my buddy Nick, when he was coming in for Labor Day, he cut his trip down by 2 days. And so a couple of games had to get sacrificed. And this is one of them. We were going to play this all day, or most of the day, just play through all the adventures again. I don't think it did that well, or I read up on this right before doing this top 100, and I found out that this game, I guess to CMON standards, underperformed. And it doesn't look like they're going to come back and revisit it or make expansion for it, which is a shame, because the original edition has these giant monster, mega monster, yellow monster things I just love. That's why I never got rid of the base game. But it doesn't look like they're going to come out with any more expansions for this, sadly. I know a lot of people would love to see a reprint of this, because besides the base game, you can't get any of the extra Kickstarter content. And I wish you could too, because the new version, I don't know which one I like better, to be honest. Why do I like the old version? I don't mind the minis. I think the minis are really good. I hate how weapons are kind of handled, or starting weapons and stuff are handled in the and maybe damage in the original one. The newer one has better than that, but the older one, I don't know. It has some interesting monsters that aren't in the second one. The ones you have to kill in close to hand-to-hand combat, and then the other one that it has is those mega monsters, which can the mega bosses who can come out. And you can play this game at super hard levels. We played at medium, and you're looking at 50-50 will win at medium. I've played hard a couple of times. I've never won. And then the old version has extreme, and you're just basically, it's for cheaters who think they're going to win. I think it's impossible to beat extreme. You've got to be lying about some of your rolls. And this is the game where I do turn a blind eye when the missus said that she killed 1 billion people that round. I don't know if she did, but it doesn't matter. I'm not interested in that. I'm just interested in playing this game. This is one of the few co-op games that my board game group will always play, because it's so much fun. So much fun. Project Elite. Next up, I got a racing game. It's awesome, Snowtails. The more I play Snowtails, the more I appreciate it. This year we played a couple of tracks, but we played one track in the booklet that had no trees. And I thought, oh, well, this is going to be easy, and it was super hard. I think three of us died, and it was a 5-player game. 3 of them, 2 got wiped out, halfway through. I got wiped out at the very end. No, one got wiped out halfway through, and me and the other guy got wiped out toward the end. We could not make it. I was trying to make it to the end, as was he, but we just got dinged up too bad, couldn't make it. And these other two people were racing for it, but someone pulled away at the very end and won. And I was like, wow, I thought because it didn't have trees, which is hard to maneuver through the trees there. I thought because it didn't have trees, this would be kind of simple. And no, it wasn't. This game is so smart. Check it out if you have never heard about it before. They did come out with one called Snowtails 2. I traded that one away. I was not interested in Snowtails 2 at all. It was just a board instead of tiles. I like the tiles better. But Snowtails, you can easily get this game. There is it's very easy to get now, but some kind of promo tile that's really hard. I put that in the game too a couple of times, and woo! But I love this game. I love Snowtails. And honestly, the more I play this game, I think the more I think it'll move back up the list. And I don't know if this is the highest it's been, though. This may be the highest it's been. Let me check this out. Usually I don't look into this, but no, it's been like a couple of spots. 47 was the highest it's ever been. That was the first time I actually played it. So it's getting up to that. It's we're like 5 spots away. But I was playing a lot when I first got it. And I've almost played just as much now, so that kind of makes sense. That's moving back up into that position. But yeah, I love racing games, and Snowtails is one of my favorites. Finally, folks, I love T. And is this my highest T ranked game? It couldn't. No, it's not. There's one more that beats Olibari. Olibari is basically just a reskin of Snowdonia, which a lot of people know and love. I never knew Snowdonia, but when Olibari came out, I was like, oh, it's about T. I'll get it. Really tight worker placement game where there's a bunch of potential to get extra trains, to get extra chai. You use that chai usually to get one extra worker per round, but you don't always use the chai for that. You can use the chai to add to any action, making it a bonus action there and really getting a leg up. The game is just wonderful. I don't know how. I think it's very similar to Snowdonia, but Olibari, I got all the little promo things for it, of course, the promo trains for it, and we play this game quite frequently, and it's different every time we play it. I love the little AI in there where you're moving around the track. Eventually, the board's just gonna randomly take out a few buildings and take out a few plantations, and basically speed up the end of the game, which is what you need. I've never seen anyone get to the end of the railroad track. I came very close our last game because that was my goal. I said, man, can you get to the end? I'm sure you can, but it's super hard. It's super hard. But I got pretty close there. But even building track, I was getting a lot of points too. This game is just wonderful. So it's definitely worth checking out. Or if you think Snowdonia is just a better theme for you, check that one out too, because I do believe these are very similar, but excellent game. All right, folks, that's it for now. Get ready, because here comes my top 50 next time. See you then.